Good afternoon, folks. Whatever part of the day you're watching this. This is Ron Grovis from Ron's Beers and Tools. I've got a beer to showcase today. As you can see, this is from Goose Island out there in Chicago. This is a Bourbon County brand stout. This is an Imperial Stout. I'm kind of excited to review this and to try this fine beer. All I read about it and heard about it. Let's look at the bottle. We'll get some information on it. Let's get the drone up. It's brewed and barreled and bottled Goose Island Beer Company, Chicago, Illinois. Intense aromas of, yes, it's charred oak, vanilla, caramel, and smoke. Charred oak coming from the wooden barrel, the bourbon barrels they use. There's a famous cap. Now what this has is these are aged. This is from 2017. Stout aged in bourbon barrels. The original bourbon barrel aged stout. They have 7 different flavors of 2017. This is the one that started it. They got an embossed bottle. It's a nice bottle. The bottle does say on it, right here, 25th of September 2017. It's 14.7% alcohol by volume. And this is one of those beers you can sell. You can age it. And I had this past Super Bowl, I went to a Super Bowl party. My son lives in the family up there in New Hampshire. My son lives. Basically, some fine folks up there went to their house. Some fine folks and their daughter, very good people, went to their house. And we had went to the Super Bowl party they had. Very, 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 very put together. A lot of good food, a lot of good people, and a lot of stuff to drink. And this was one of the ones, the first one, when I first got up there, my son introduced me, and we split a bottle. And I hesitated a little bit, because this is barrel-aged in bourbon barrel, and it's strong. And I wanted to try. They always have a bunch of craft beers up there, and a number of Trillium beers. And I like trying all the different craft beers, and particularly the Trillium beers. They have a lot of Congress Street beer, which I like. That's really a New England juice bomb. And so we had a good time at the party, and I tried this, and leaving, he gave me this bottle to review. So here it is, Goose Island from Chicago, Illinois, this Imperial Stout. Let's get a little information. The founder on this was John Hall, or is John Hall, his CEO now, and that was in 1988. He first started on this, was a brew pub. So we can get information on that. I guess that's just a signature, the brewmaster signature. And the brewmaster is Jared Jankowski. I guess he's really good. Again, Jared Jankowski is the brewmaster over there at Goose Island. And this year he's brewed 7 different flavors of this. This was the very first one, and that's like the flagship of it. Goose Island is releasing this, like I say, 7 different flavors of their county beers in this year 2007. The most being the brandy stout. Then they had the coffee stout with it. They had a barley wine. They had a Northwood stout. They had a blueberry and almond stout. They had a stout flavored like banana foster. They had a barley wine aged 2 years. And they had a stout aged 11 years. Imagine that. 11 years, and that was aged in old Knott Creek bourbon barrels. Imagine that. Wow. 11 years. Knob Creek, I hope I'm saying that correctly. Knob Creek, yep. Knob Creek bourbon barrels. That's the distillery, actually, where they got the barrels from, is Heaven Hill Distillery. Again, Heaven Hill Distillery, where the barrels came from. And they're pretty, right? As soon as they emptied out of the bourbon being aged, they sent the barrels over to this fine brewery. So you're going to get a lot of brandy taste in this. And This beer gets a lot of awards, has gotten a lot of awards. Beer Advocate has given this 4.6 out of 5. They call it a world-class beer. So it is really a great aged stout. It really sounds like it's really going to be really good. This, like I said, this beer actually launched the other 6 on the market. The other 6 on the market, they're stouts, out of the Bourbon County, I should say, the Bourbon County family. It started this in 1995, and this one anchors the lineup of Bourbon County beers. It's available national, across the country. You can get this. It's across the country. You can really see the embossed on that, so we'll go with the label part of it. This year, this 2007 version might be a touch, people are saying, boozier. Might be a little boozy, that's quite the word. And gals and guys will notice a little bit more bourbon forward. I mean, really, to drink this here more enjoyable. Like when I would say, I had driven up to the party and I really couldn't drink a lot, even though we were going to be there for a while. And so I held back on drinking this here, even though it was probably a glass full. So anyways, with no further, let's open it up and see what this beer looks like, smells like. Okay, we got it as a glass. We happen to have another fine craft beer from Trillium. They said use this type of glass for this beer here. So I happen to have a Trillium that my loving wife picked up when she went there. And went into Boston. We never do that again. The traffic was terrible. The day we went in, I dropped her off. I had to drive around, and oh, it was terrible traffic. So I wouldn't go into Boston again. If I go, I'd go to Canton, Mass. They got a brewery there also. Trillium has. Here's a bottle opener, correction. Australian beer class. An Australian beer class. All right. Let's, no further ado. Dying to try this. Get the camera. Yep. Okay. Got our glass. And here we go. The water vapor's coming out. Alright. Whoa. Yeah, it's a stout. I don't know why I wasn't expecting it coming out so dark. But I should have known. It's a stout. Here it is. Doesn't appear much head on it, but then it's a stout. It's kind of cool. Wasn't refrigerated. Might be better sometimes if it's a little bit warm on it. Warm it up a bit. I can smell some aromas on this already. They're not really strong just because I'm a distance away from it, but I can kind of pick up on some of the aromas. That's what it looks like, folks. It is dark. That is dark. That is black. That is dark. I mean, the aromas I'm getting just from here are the fruitiness. I said there was 4.7% ABV. The international bitter units on this are 60. 60 international bitter units. They use Millennium hops for this. The malts in this beer, 2-row, black malt, caramel, chocolate, Munich 10, and roasted barley. So that's 6 different malts are in this beer. So that's going to be quite the complex beer. 6 different malts. Millennium hops are in this. This is Goose Island, Bourbon County Imperial Stout. They call it the brand Stout. Well, it's hard to imagine that kind of a complex malt in it. Caramel, chocolate, black malt, 2-row. Okay, let's give it a sniff test and see. Oh, wow. Yes. Oh, everything comes out. Oh. Everything comes out. This is like a slice of sunshine on a cold and wet Monday. Oh, I can get right off the bat, that kind of a almond gingerbread. When you have gingerbread, let's get seeing here, talking about big bourbon. It's noticeable alcohol. That is definitely noticeable. The alcohol. It's really a big bourbon aroma for that. Dark malts coming through on this. Wow, roasted like a bitter. I don't know how you can smell bitter, but kind of like a roasted bitter malt. Figs. When you have a bunch of figs at Christmas time and Thanksgiving, it's like those figs at Christmas time. Definitely a sweet bourbon aroma from all those 6 different malts, chocolate and caramel. Kind of like smoked aroma. Wow, I'm telling you, this is really a sunshine of brightness as far as aromas coming out. Vanilla. Oh, sorry for my sniffing and so forth, folks. Anise. When you have that clear to drink anise Christmas time also. I'm getting that kind of that bitter bourbon kind of smell, but I don't think that's going to come on the flavor. I think it's going to be sweet, maybe. I don't know. I'm dying to really very anxious to try this. Okay, here we go. Salute, folks. Oh. Oh, this is good. This is so smooth. It's like the alcohol is encased in all that caramel and chocolate flavors that are coming into this beer. And in between it is the alcohol, which I actually hit you at the back. Yes, that bourbon alcohol hits you in the back of the throat. This is a flavorful beer. It's definitely different. It's not a disappointment to what I was thinking it was going to be like. Far from it. Chocolate taste. The smooth feel is just, I can't say the words to describe that smooth feeling. Just that it's bourbon wrapped around in chocolate, raisins, the caramel. It's not really burn when you drink alcohol. Excuse my gulping, folks, and my my words that I can't really describe. It's like a chocolatey taste, fruity at the same time. Dates. Maybe the Christmas drink, maybe because of the bourbon. For some reason, the dates and raisins at Christmas time. Definitely a caramel. Definitely, this is definitely. I'm gonna be here a while. This is definitely a slow sipper. Definitely. Right. This is the correct glass for this. Is for me hard to hold these type glasses. So I just don't swig it down, and this is definitely a slow sipper. I can taste as I was tasting it, like if the full bodiness of it, it really tastes like the alcohol flavors that have in this from the bourbon out of the barrels is wrapped in chocolate and raisins, and the sweetness are all around the caramel, a roasted kind of maybe black cherry, all around the alcohol until it gets to the back of your throat. As it goes down your throat, then you get the taste and the sensation of the alcohol. Excuse me. Oh, this is a slow sipper, so I'm going to be here a while. I always like to have a treat. My wife buys the treats. This beer being so delicious, and it's being a sipping beer, I had to have a big treat. So this is what she bought me. A big bag. Yep. Big bag of Wise potato chips. the original, golden original. If we can get the bag in here. So I got a big bag that I can sit here. I will have that. Enjoy the day. Sun here today. It's Monday, so I usually have most Mondays off. I don't work Mondays as kind of a rule. But anyways, with that said, who's going to drink today, folks? Drive. Don't drive. Be sensible when you drink. Well, I guess it's all right. Finish up. This is very drinkable. I won't go too long with this. This is a very drinkable beer. It's a sipping beer. I'm getting all these fine flavors out of this as I drink it. I just have to say, this is an awesome beer. It is so good. It is delicious. There's so many adjectives you can come out with in words of describing a good drink and a good beer. And this is it. This is really good. Very enjoyable. Very drinkable. Again, like I say, though, you have to sip on it because it's strong. It's 14.7% ABV. That's a lot. And you got to be responsible when you drink something like this. But it's so enjoyable. It's so enjoyable. I know a little bit later when I finish this review, I'll be staying down here for a while and drinking this fine beer. And thank you, Bourbon County Goose Island Brewery for brewing this, and especially the brewmaster there, Jared Jankowski. I thank you. This is really a good, fine, enjoyable drink. I mean, I'm usually a big gulping guy with the beers, but definitely I've learned on something like this, it needs to be sipped. Sit down, enjoy it. I will be getting this style of beer again. I'll try the other flavors. That's how well this beer is brewed. So complex with all those malts. I've got to try the other ones. This is so delicious. I've got to try the other ones. So, really good. Really, really good. Because my taste buds are opening, and I don't want to make this too long, but I'm getting basically dark malts are coming out because of the sweetness, and same as the aroma of the dark malts and the vanilla and the oak, and it's so full-bodied of a beer. And sometimes you get like a roasted bitter taste, and then it bounces back like a sweet black cherry, a caramel, a chocolate. And you know how almonds taste? A bit of that. But anyways, with that said, this is really a fine. I'm glad glad my son gave it to me. My number one son gave it to me on Super Bowl day when we were up there watching the game. And he said, "Dad, review this," and I am. This Bourbon County Stout from Goose Island, and I want to thank my number one son. I thank you and the family up there for inviting us up there for Super Bowl for a very good time. Fine food up there. We had a great time. Too bad the Patriots lost, but oh well. It was time for another good team to take over. But anyways, have a good day, folks. Just going to drink, don't drive. Ciao.